to Wales, as later than planned, an animal rights activist meets a farmer on his own turf.
I'm sick and tired of the police dictating to us.
That's me. I've been in 16 prisons altogether. I was heavily immersed in the illegal side of direct action, going out damaging property, liberating animals. So if you've got a stereotype animal rights loony, I suppose that's me, really.
I'm from a long line of farmers. My father and my grandfather, I believe his father and grandfather have been farmers. I must say I'm somewhat concerned that we're going to host a gentleman who has been in jail, in fact, for animal rights activities, and one who was a vegan too.
Get off me! Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me!
For this programme, John will spend 5 days living, and hopefully working, on Henry's traditional mixed farm. Each will put their own prejudices and preconceptions to the test.
When I think of farmers, they're just repulsive, right-wing, reactionary, conservative rednecks, basically. Whether they're going to be of that sort, I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
How do you do?
Hello, John.
How's it going? Henry, is it?
That's right. Welcome to the farm.
Thank you very much.
We hope that you'll have a very interesting week with us.
It'll be interesting.
Let's go down and
we might have to go into some detail about what I will and won't do.
Oh, you're going to do everything. We can't say, oh, we're going to ignore you, or we won't do that today.
But no, there's certain things that I won't do to compromise that I would say would harm an animal. Well, we'll have to see. I'll feed
I won't ask
and
you.
walk out.
You saying I'm going to ask you to do something to harm an animal?
Yeah. But your
of course I'm not.
Your perception of what would harm an animal might be different to mine. But
this is my life.
Yeah.
I have 60 years of experience. Right? Let's go. Good. Well, the farm this is the hub of the farm. We've got another couple of farms as well. Oh, you're in favour of milk then for calves?
Oh yeah, that's what.
Do you have milk?
I'm vegan, strict vegetarian.
So do you drink milk?
Soy milk. I wouldn't drink milk of another
I tell
species.
you what, these wouldn't look very well on soy milk.
A vegan diet, which is what I'm on, is a totally healthy diet. I don't want to get
you don't look as fit as my son.
Well, what do you mean I don't look as fit as you? I'm a fit person.
You've got any hair, look at this! Look at this! Look at this!
My hair
you can't even grow hair! Basically, we're aiming to get a lot of these lambs sold for the Easter trade.
Hopefully you'll get it by the end of the week. That to me is abhorrent. Do you know what I mean?
It's what?
It's disgusting.
Is it?
I'd say even if it's done perfectly, even what you're doing, even if it's done by the board, I'd say it's still cruelty. It's still abuse.
Is there any cruelty in the high-rise flats that you live in?
Yeah, people.
I think you should look after the people first.
Oh, my head is spinning totally. I mean, he's a character, if nothing else. But we obviously do live on different planets. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think we're not going to end up, falling out or hating each other. And I think he's going to take on board a lot of what I'm saying. We've been brought up in a society where meat is parallel with health and happiness.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. I'd say that the opposite is true. Meat is analogous with death and pain and suffering. There's nothing going for meat at all.
My mum here, how old are you, Mum?
87.
87. Right. And what do you have for your breakfast?
Bacon, sausage, or bacon and eggs.
There you are. You've been a farmer's wife all your life?
Yes, yes.
And how often do you eat meat?
Yes, every day.
Every day.
I've kept very well.
Right. So
Okay.
you think a balanced diet has kept you going to 87?
I'm sure.
Are you honestly saying that you need meat to stay healthy?
I am.
No, we need to have the opportunity to
I
choose.
couldn't work.
Right.
We aren't decrying you the fact you're being a vegetarian. We're saying, we aren't trying to convert you to eat meat. We accept your point of view and we're happy with it.
But you are
It's all about
actively
choice,
going
isn't it?
against
It's not
what
as
we
if
do.
we're not debating what colour the town hall's going to be or some silly little issue like that. We're dealing with the pain and the suffering
What pain?
of hundreds of millions of animals. There's a lot at stake here. So, and the animals can't defend themselves. So, don't you think it's right and proper that someone is going to be their advocate, someone's going to speak out for them. And you can put your case, you say you're farmers and you look up.
Life and death are an intrinsic part of farming.
What
I
sort
mean,
of
when I was a boy, I'd be rushing around the village now to fetch 10 men.
For Henry, the birth of a calf is a joyous occasion. To John, it is another innocent victim born to suffer.
Oh, you just come here, John. You're frightening her a bit. Well, now you watch him. Come on, push him. Steady, take your time. Take your time. Whoa, the girlie. Whoa, the girlie. Take your time. Whoa, the girlie. Well, we've got him. We've got him. Now, the very most important thing this calf will ever do in his life is take that first breath. A child or a baby or anything, that first breath. Doesn't take the first breath, he won't last. But that is a super job. And that is one of the wonders of farming. That's what you call good husbandry.
I went through 18, 19 years of my life eating meat and drinking milk and just not having any idea what I was doing. And that white creamy liquid that you get from the shop comes from there. It belongs to that cow. That's why that cow produces it. Not for us, not for people, for calves. But that calf will be torn away from its mum in a few days. And by drinking milk, basically, you're part of it.
Come on. Shh. Shh. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Shh. Shh. He isn't as rough a fellow, or as difficult possibly as I was expecting, because basically he's a nice fellow that I believe has been programmed by someone to commit these crimes, and he's misguided, he's gone off the rails. And it's a pity.
Warm milk. Straight from the cow.
It's the first night, it was the first day on this farm, and my head's battered. I'm looking forward to the end of the week. I'm looking forward to getting it over with. I hope to learn a lot, because they know what they're doing. They know sheep, they know cows. But it's what drives them is healthy profits, really, at the end of the day. It's hard for me, this. Well, it's harder than what I thought it would be. It's been fascinating. Today, seeing that calf being born was amazing. A miracle. But again, everything I see, it's all tinged with this sadness. No, it's not me being a manic depressive. That's the reality of animal abuse in Britain today. Anyway, that's it. Nighty night. See you in the morning.
John has not had a restful night. He was woken at 2 a.m. to help check the ewes and feed the lambs. It's now 6 a.m. and he's supposed to be helping Henry with the milking.
Well, don't put the units on.
No, I'll take them off.
Well, what about putting them on?
No,
You can't take them off, do you put them on?
No, I couldn't do that. Try and respect that, me as a vegan.
I
know what I
don't
mean?
respect that whatsoever.
You don't respect it?
No, not at all.
I will disinfectant them.
No, that's... No,
Come on, you're in a soak with me
So
now,
you're
aren't you?
accepting they should be milked then?
Huh? No,
Wait,
no,
wait,
no.
Just let me concentrate. 6, 2, 8, nothing. How are the people in the world going to live, John, if we don't produce food?
Right. I'm not saying, Henry, that we
How are they
shouldn't
gonna
produce
live?
food.
How are they going to live if we don't produce food?
Pulses, grains, fruit, vegetables, that is food. Fatty breast milk is not food. Am I getting through it all?
And I'm doing it for a reason, because there is a demand. If there was no demand, I wouldn't be doing it.
Right, well, there's such a thing now as vegetarianism and veganism, and we're going to take that demand away. People are going to want vegetarianism and veganism, and we're going to take that demand away. People are going to want a compassionate alternative.
John, it's early in the morning.
A civilised alternative.
It's early in the morning, you're in cuckoo land.
I'm not in
The cuckoo
cuckoo land.
doesn't sing until it
I'm
gets
not.
light.
I've got a vision.
For Henry, Monday is market day, an apparently essential part of farming life. Today, he has 3 heifers to sell.
This is the bottom line of animal farming. Pounds, shillings and pence, that's what it's all about. I've got nothing against people making money, but not off the backs of these animals. All that grabbing the animals, it's just pervy, it's just, ugh. I feel disgusted.
78.5, all I'm saying is that I want to see change. I want to see us reevaluate our whole relationship with animals, where we just don't treat them as property anymore. And it's all
You are dreaming.
It's like the slave auctions, you know what I mean? You might see that as a Walt Disney.
Oh, come on. Slavery hasn't been in this country this century.
These are slaves. These are your slaves.
Let's move.
These are your slaves.
They're my produce from my farm. And I'm proud to have produced cattle of that quality. It's not such a joyous day going to market now as it used to be, because prices are very depressed on the farming scene. And we are getting prices for cattle, sheep and pigs that we were getting 20 years ago. The costs are substantially higher. And each Monday is very much a business day for me.
Henry's just sold 2 heifers. I'd say his palms are now lined with blood money, really. Those animals are off to the slaughterhouse. All the care and the compassion and the welfare, what's it all worth for now? On the way to hellhole.
And it's the second day John's been with us. He thinks he knows better than anybody, and he won't listen to any of the people he's met. He just won't accept anything they say. He's critical of farmers. There's no respect for the law, and we know nothing. It's pathetic, really. End of day 2.
Oh, farmers are bastards! Oh, farmers are bastards! If only you knew what you had in store for you. Another sleepless night, up at 2:30. Went over to the lambing shed. We got in there and there was a lamb there that was stillborn. There you go, beauty. Went back to my room, got there about 3:30. Got out of bed at 5:30, but I did get some sleep. But it was only about 3/4 of an hour. And then I was in the dairy with Henry. We're just waiting for the next incident to happen, and you're just waiting. It could be any second sort of thing. We might get on reasonably well today, or we might have another ding dong in 5 minutes. So who knows?
How many oats have you grown?
I haven't grown a single oat.
Well, then how the hell do you know?
But I haven't been to the moon, and I know it's up there.
If you won't listen, forget about it. I'm up to here with it. I really am. I'm up to here, because if John is taking my hospitality and he's criticising everything we do, we're hard-working, normal, honest people doing a damn good job, working 20 hours a day. Everything's wrong. He's never been on a farm before. He hasn't got a clue what goes on. Yet he's an expert and criticised all the time.
Come on, that's what we're
saying.
This is a
so forget about it. I'm finished.
This always was going to be a bizarre situation, wasn't it?
Breakfast was uncomfortable, but worse was to come down in the lambing sheds.
find his mother, Ian. There's a good lamb. Big lamb here. Very big lamb here somewhere.
I had 3 times.
That is good enough. That's not good enough. Take him again into the lorry. There's a good lamb.
From day one, John's dilemma has been whether or not to actually participate in life on the farm, and Henry is about to put him on the spot.
27. Right, I think I'd better take over now, and you catch a ewe or two. Right, my turn now.
What about catching on?
You won't catch another ewe now.
Okay. 350. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, darling. Come on back to your lambs. Come to your lambs. Come on.
Come on, you're doing well.
You're going out in the field.
Well. Come on, bring her to a lamb.
Go on, darling. Go on, darling. Going back to your lambs. Go back to your babies.
Oh, you pull the wool out. You've been too rough on her.
Go on, darling. Go on, darling. Going back to your lambs. Go back to your babies.
Oh, you pull the wool out. You've been too rough on her.
Too rough?
Yeah, you have. You pull the wool up. You just come here and look. Two. You've been cruel on that, you. Come here. You see, look what you've done. You see, you pull that wool out.
That's cruelty, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's like me trying to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
You've got to hold it better than that.
Yeah.
What number's that?
Yeah, I feel a bit gutted at the minute. I mean, when I agreed to take part in programs, I don't want to do any work apart from feeding them, and all that was about. And all it is that the lambs are going to be taken to the field and the sheep, and they're going to get out of this housing. I don't know what to make of it, whether I've just done a good or a bad thing. They're going to do it anyway. So while I was here, I thought I'd participate. I just can't wait the hell to get out of here.
It's been a very difficult day today. I'm afraid I blew my top this morning. We've been lambing for around a month. We're very tired. And to have a man who lives in a big city, admits he's never been onto a working farm in his life before, continually telling me, who's been on the farm all my life, and my employees and my wife and my son, that we're doing everything wrong when we're working extremely hard, is difficult to handle.
That's 2 whole nights now I've gone without sleep, and I can't sleep. It's just something strange. It's just living with the enemy business. It's just scrambling my brains. Being here, not in confrontation as such, even though that's what it is, permanent confrontation. But the idea is to try and put myself in his shoes and live alongside him. And it's doing me head in.
He's not a normal person in any respect. I've never met anyone like him. Which simply in his eyes, or in his little mind, and the mind is very small, we are doing everything wrong, and we are, as he would say, crap. And that I find very difficult to take. So, roll on the end of the week. We'll see what tomorrow, Wednesday, brings.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho. Stop there.
Can you honestly tell me that my livestock are not well kept?
From my perception of the life of the cattle on your farm, they're born. One of the worst crime, I think, what happens is that within a couple of days, if that, they're taken from their mothers. Why?
But you also...
You said today... All right, now carry on. I'll let you talk for 5 minutes, but I want to have my say. Give me 1 minute. I want to make an important point. I'd like you to
Don't
respond
point your
to
finger
it.
at me.
Sorry,
I'd like you to clock you on.
Let's not get onto that. We don't need to descend to that level, do we?
No, if you start pointing your finger at me...
Your sheep farming system, you always want to see the lambs on the mothers.
Yes.
Throughout the whole time. You don't wean them off, do you?
No.
And that's because
the consumer or you don't produce sheep's milk. But all those arguments go out the window when it comes to dairy farming, don't they? Because you want the milk. So whatever you would do, what suits you, not what suits the calf or the sheep.
Do you know that the lambs that are born in March will be taken from their mothers, will be weaned?
Again, to suit
because, no.
Why?
I'm afraid this lack of knowledge is showing through now. Come up. Wait a minute.
Animal farming is...
Wait a minute.
It's apart from the morality, it's an inefficient use of the land.
Is it? I tell you what, it enhances the countryside. The livestock in the
Your view
field.
of the countryside, remember. All this, yeah, you see it as beautiful. And it's here.
Look at it.
Because of sheep farming. Yeah.
Exactly, it's here because of sheep farming. You said it, you got it.
It's how
absolutely
it's
right.
how it looks because
absolutely right.
It's been managed, it's been engineered.
Absolutely, of course it has.
Farmers.
Of course it has. Absolutely, it would be a wilderness.
It would be a wilderness.
And it would be unproductive, it wouldn't feed anybody, it wouldn't serve any purpose, and it would look awful. And you, out of the town, to be in respect, would not want to come into the countryside.
Forget about the town.
Hang on!
Forget about this town.
No, if you won't listen.
I will listen.
No, you don't. Forget about it. I'm having no more to do with it. No, I've had enough. Good day. Good on. Come on, Davy. Come on, Davy. And I've got somebody standing on my land that is too bigoted and knows bugger all about anything, who won't just pause and let me say something. I don't want to know any more about you. Go back to Coventry and stay there.
You're telling me I should stand here and listen to everything you have to say?
No, I expect you to just listen. You won't even pause.
You haven't listened to a word I've said.
Christ almighty. Come on, Davy. Please close the gate when you come. If you just damn well listen to somebody who knows about these things, you'd be a lot better chap. But you're totally... You won't even shut up now. You won't even shut up now. Come on, Davy. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Come on. Come on, that'll do. That'll do. Good job.
It's John's last day, and with relations at a new low, the morning's pheasant shoot could not have come at a worse time. It's the last shoot of the season when, traditionally, the beaters get their turn with the guns. But plans are disrupted by the birth of a lamb, Noddy.
A ewe had been lambing with a lamb that was backwards. If it hadn't been there, the lamb would have been dead, no doubt about it. Revived the lamb, but the lamb is brain damaged. He's been deprived of oxygen.
It may be brain damage, but I can't see any flickering of the eyes. They call me an ignoramus all week, but I do know some degree about animal welfare. I'm hoping it's curvature of the spine.
To my mind, with 31 years of experience with animals, the animal has no future.
I've asked them to call the vet out. I'll pay for it, and I would pay for intensive therapy, if possible, for this lamb. But to whatever price, I'm not going to put a price on this lamb.
Of course, John has come and seen this. I've explained to him. He wants to take the lamb away to a sanctuary. You know what the devil he thinks he's going to do to it. It'll be more stressful for the lamb. Being carted all over the country.
I hope he comes away with me today. I'll get him treated by a vet and take him to an animal sanctuary. Oh, well, I've got pheasant shoot to go to yet. But anyway, I'm more interested in you, and I'm just going to go to that pheasant shoot, observe it, show my contempt for what's going on. But I'm more interested in Noddy now.
John, of course, is absolutely against shooting. Didn't know whether he would come and watch us. But for the sake of the film, has decided to do so. Good job. Hang on, hold the line. I know that my employees are very much looking forward to having their traditional day right at the end of shooting. And so for their sake, I hope that John, in fact, just comes and looks, and for once keeps quiet.
Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. Take one. Over. Over.
Sick enough. It's disgusting, it's a disgrace, people are cowards, it's not a sport. I don't want to talk too much in a minute. I've had a emotionally straining week and I'm on the verge of cracking up right this minute, and the more I talk, the more chances I'll just end up blubbering.
Find him out, so.
Here. Head one. Good dog.
Comes another one.
Well shot! Well shot! Good, good, good. Real fast.
Right, chaps, nicely done. Not so many birds, end of the season. But what went very sportingly.
For everyone except John and the pheasants, it has been a thoroughly enjoyable morning sport. Now, much to John's relief, Noddy and the imminent arrival of the vet have forced an early lunch.
The last thing I want to do is to have to dispatch this lamb. But I'm not prepared to let this lamb suffer.
No, no. But if it takes, like, that's what I'm saying, all I'm offering to do, and Henry said, and you've okayed it, is that if the vet's bill gets too
What do you think, Pete? What do you think, Pete?
I think this lamb's been laid in the womb, normally.
Oh, yes.
With its head shifted right round.
Yes.
And this is just a neck, stiffness of the neck problem.
Yes.
I think it will come round.
You think it will come right?
With treatment? It needs some, basic physiotherapy. Yeah.
John's convinced that the level of care required by Noddy is not economically viable for Henry, and is keen to take the lamb away with him to an animal sanctuary.
But don't go away with the thought
if I was to take him away, I would be able to take him to a sanctuary. All I'm saying is that if there comes a point where it would become impractical for you and do normal conditions of what you would normally do, I'm looking for some candidness, some realism here from a working farm.
I've been candid all week.
There would be a point where this lamb is taking up too much time. Yeah, we've got all the other lambs to look to maintain.
So you're more experienced a shepherd than I am.
I never said that.
Well, then it's better stay with me, isn't it? With his mother.
No, I wouldn't.
Why do you seem to think you can do something that I can't? A sanctuary would kill it. We are quite glad he's gone, so we can get on with some real work. None of us ever met anyone quite like him. I won't be in a hurry to meet him or his like again.
I think Henry will slot me into his little world as if he'd never met me, as if just he'd read about me in Farmers Weekly.
Here was a golden opportunity for someone to really find out how a normal, ordinary farm ticks. And he didn't do it.
I've gained a lot from the week on the farm. And I learned a lot about Henry and about farmers, I think.
For us, it was fascinating to see how such a person ticks. And I feel quite genuinely sorry for him.
I could live there for a year and it'd still make no impact on him at all.